Hi guys, so today I'm going to be talking about what books I'm taking to university with me. I am going into my second year of university, I'm doing a history degree, so I don't know how much time I'm going to have to read, but I am taking 6 books with me. To some people that would be a lot of books, to some people it would be nothing, but for me I thought it would be a good amount just because it means I can read them if I want to, and I'm not putting too much pressure on myself to read. But there are also some of my favourite books and some books that have been on my TBR for ages and I just need to get to reading them. The first book I'm taking, I'm not actually going to show you because I ordered it on Amazon and I accidentally put the wrong address, so it's going to my uni house rather than my house here where I am filming right now. But that first book is The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. I read it for the booktubeathon and I adored it so much. It was amazing and brilliant and just wonderful, and I loved it. I didn't have a copy of it because I read it from the library and it's £2 on Amazon right now, so I decided to order it and I clicked the wrong address, so it's being sent to my uni house, but it means I don't have to take it with me, it's already there. If you don't know what The Hate You Give is about, it is basically about kind of the Black Lives Matter movement, which I think is amazing. It is about 16-year-old Star, I think she's 16, I can't remember her age, and basically she kind of lives in the kind of ghetto, like the rough neighbourhood kind of, and she also goes to a private white middle class upper class school, so she kind of lives these two different lives and she basically has to try and balance herself. So when she's at school she tries not to be too kind of stereotypical, and then when she's at home she tries not to be too kind of posh in case her friends think that she's looking down on them, which she really isn't. And one day she gets invited to a party where she sees her friend and they kind of hang out, he drives her home, and then on the way home the car gets stopped, the police officer asks her friend to get out, and Star basically witnesses her best friend being murdered by the police, and that kind of spurs on the whole Black Lives Matter movement, and just it's very thought-provoking, it's emotional, it's funny, it's sad, makes you so angry that this stuff happens. It's an amazing book and I really recommend you reading it if you haven't. The next book I'm taking to uni is Pantomime by Laura Lamb. I'm taking this because I'm currently reading this right now. I started it this morning. I've only read the first chapter so far, and then I was like, right, I need to actually film before I start getting sucked into this book. But so far I'm enjoying it. I've only read the first chapter, so I can't tell you too much about it. But this is basically about Jean, or Jeannie, I'm not sure how to say the name. She is basically both male and female. She's basically shunned, so she runs away and she starts to develop some magical abilities. So she runs away to the circus and it's just kind of about that, and I'm interested to see what it is about because I loved the Night Circus. I really like circusy and pantomime books. They're so magical and wonderful, and the fact that this has a character that's both male and female, it's something that isn't in much literature that I've read. So I'm really interested to see how it is done, and it has little kind of reviews. I don't know, it's got like a 1-sentence thing, and one of them is Lee Bardugo said that it's a vibrant tale, and then Robin Hobb says an exotic and detailed world, and they are two quite well-known kind of fantasy authors, so I thought I would try this. The next book I have that I'm taking, if you've been watching my videos for a while you will not be surprised by this, I took it last year, and that is Am I Normal Yet by Holly Bourne. This is one of my all-time favourite books. This is basically about 16-year-old Evie who has anxiety and OCD, and because of that she's had time off of school to kind of recover, and she's basically starting 6th form now, which if you don't know, it's basically your last 2 years of high school. Anyway, she's starting 6th form college and she just wants to have a normal life. She wants to be able to make friends, she wants to be able to go out, hang out with her friends, get good grades, go to parties, meet people, and she wants to be able to do that without letting her anxiety and OCD stop her, and it's just kind of about how she copes with that, and I absolutely love it. If you want to know more about this, then I have done a video on why I love Holly Bourne's Spinster Club trilogy, so I will leave that down below if you're interested. Now these next 3 books I'm taking because I haven't read them and I really want to get around to them. First book is Heir of Fire by Sarah J Maas. This is the 3rd book in the Throne of Glass series, which I still have yet to finish. I haven't read this book yet. I know it's bad, I should have read this by now, I started reading it last year when I went to uni, but it took me about the first 3 months to get through the first 100 pages, so I gave up on it. But hopefully this time I will actually be able to stick through with it and get through with it and get it done, because I know this series is amazing. I loved the first 2 books, it's just this book I struggled with and I don't know why. I will hopefully get this done this year at some point. The next book I'm then taking is Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. This is the first book in, I think it's the Grisha trilogy? I'm not entirely sure. I don't actually know that much about this book because I don't want to read the blurb, and I know so many people have talked about it on BookTube, but my mind has just kind of forgotten what they've told me about it. But I know this is a really hyped series, everyone loves it, and so I just kind of want to give it a chance, and I've had it on my shelf for like 2 years, so I really need to try and read it. And plus, I really love the cover. Like, it's such a pretty cover, isn't it? And then the last book I'm taking with me is The Bone Season. I took this with me last year and I didn't read it. I need to read it because it's been on my TBR for ages. I don't know much about this book. I know it's kind of fantasy, sci-fi, and it's set in London. But apart from that, I can't really remember much about it. And I know quite a few of my BookTube friends have loved this book and they've told me to read it, and hopefully I will finally get around to it. It's just really intimidating because it's kind of chunky and the series is supposed to be like 5 books long or something. So yeah, I don't know, but hopefully if I'm taking this with me it will encourage me to pick it up. I just, whenever I see it I'm like, but it's gonna be a long series and series intimidate me. So yeah, but hopefully I will get into it and I will love it. And I'll be like, Holly, why did you wait so long to get into it? You're an idiot. Anyway, this is the last book that I'm taking to uni with me. I'm also taking my iPad with me, which basically has the kind of Kindle store, and my library has an ebook library, so I use that as well. So these aren't the only books I'll be reading when I'm at uni. Don't worry, I'm not planning on just reading 6 books for the entire year. I am basically going to be taking my iPad so that I can read books from there, and then also my uni library and the library in my city have really good books. They have like a really good book selection, so I can always get books from there if I want. And then my flatmate Carla is also taking books, and we were like, yo, we can just kind of swap books between us. Don't worry, I am reading a lot more than this year. But those are the books that I'm taking to university with me. Let me know if you're going to university or college and if you've decided to take any books with you, and also what your TBR is for this month, because I'd love to know. And if you liked, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!